Well, alrighty then. So that was probably sort of indicative of the week's gone, the last couple of them. Hey, thanks for coming, short notice and late and all that stuff. I am the Great Baldini, and you're you, and thanks for coming. Yeah, it's been a wild couple of weeks, and yeah, I apologize for not being here sooner or more. Been a lot of stuff going on, and the note for today, even though the title here is Mayday, 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 right? What I really wanted you to see is something more like. Hang on, I'll switch this to something like. Give me just a second here because I think I failed to do this, which is this, and show you this picture here. So while you're looking at that, I'm going to read from Isaiah tonight, just a little bit of that, and talk about some things that are going on. So again, it's great to see you. And give me just a second here. I want to do this. I need an image here, and that's going to be in this folder right here. Okay, good. All right, perfect. So now I can do this and show you that. Hey, don't panic, right? Okay, that's the thing. So you're going to hear a lot of stuff in the news right now. Coming this year, right? They're telling us all sorts of crazy things are going to go on. Black Swan events. They're spoiling for all kinds of stuff. Trouble at the Olympics. We have Olympics in Paris this year, and we know that there's a whole bunch of immigrants over there doing frightening, terrible things. At least they're telling us that. So I want to make sure that you're aware that these are things that they're telling us, right? Now there are a lot of bad things going on out there, and I can certainly see it, as I'm sure you can as well. And it does nothing to get us more, settled and, feeling peaceful and joy. But it would not be, I think, appropriate given what we're seeing out there. At least it seems to be. It would be wildly irresponsible to ignore all the things that we're seeing happening out there. There is so much it's even hard to put my hands on, and part of why I regret the big spaces between our chance to talk, and because again I feel like at this point I don't want to go through heavy presentation stuff, but neither again did I want to make it like a like a drama channel or anything that right about like what's going on with me. But I just quickly throw out there that I had been in all kinds of, and we're still in all kinds of troubles, but Dad is good, right, and continues to uphold us and support us and do miraculous things, and also through gifts of friends like you, super helpful, unexpected stuff, and yeah. So we're it's like we're not out of the woods yet. Everything's just crazy, but Dad always is good, and he always provides, and I don't have to stick my hand on the corner or put notes at the bottom of the show saying our donation goal is $500 or whatever. I don't do that. In fact, the channel's been entirely demonetized at this point. I don't really care. I wasn't really making anything from it anyway. It feels kind of bad that they did it for why they did it, right? But it's there wasn't ever the intent to use this to make money, right? Just to share thoughts and ideas. And then as you know, I got sick and had to take some time off, and still sick, still trying to get, got a diagnosis for the first part, right, the myalgic encephalomyelitis, which is, yeah. Anyway, then thought I had that kind of, all right, we got this adjusted, and we'll keep moving on with that, and then this other thing happened, and boy, it kind of took the wind out of my sails and took my feet out from under me. But again, Dad is good. Anyway, trudging forward, and this is, I didn't want to spend a lot of time talking to me, but I do want to share for those who are concerned, and we're like, hey, what happened? We're just barely making it, right? But again, Dad is good and opens the door and shows so many miracles. And so what I want you to know is that he hears you, right? And when you're in trouble, he will hear you too, right? Provided you build this friendship and this relationship, and that is why, and that's the friendship and the relationship why when I see these Mayday, Mayday, right, admit one for panic attack, all this bad stuff is happening, World War III is around the corner, we got asteroids coming to hit us, and there could be aliens out there, and God, who knows? And Civil War 2.0, don't forget that, because everybody's going crazy, right? So again, it would be blind and willfully ignorant to look around and not see that there is definitely all kinds of stuff going out there that makes the world look pretty stupid from here. I bemoaned about that to my lovely bride today. I said, well, the world is so stupid. I don't even want to be in it anymore. I mean, not like that. It's just like it works on you, right? And it wears on you. And so I see things like this, right? When I do Google, like this happens every day. And Madeline tells me, don't look, right? Just stop looking. And I can't really stop seeing what's around me. But this I know is a bad thing, right? And what we see around us is every single day, I see more and more of these words, right? Those two words right there, self-deletion, but with the rest of the family, right? And then that deeply affects me in ways that I find difficult to describe, because it's not just because, I'm a nice guy or whatever, or I'm a grandfather, so I love my grandkids and I hate to see kids. And no, it's bigger than that. And the pain. So I know very, very close and personally how much the pain of having somebody you love take their own life. It's been more than 25 years since I lost my very best friend and closest brother that way. And the grief never leaves. Even when you know that there's not your fault, there's nothing more you could do, the grief remains, and so does the guilt. You always feel guilty, like I should have done more, I should have known, I should have seen it. And in my case, there certainly really wasn't much more that I could do. It's a long way away, and I was trying to communicate with him, and he stopped calling, which I knew was unusual. Then immediately thereafter, I got the bad news. So, and my first response really was to be, I was kind of mad, right? I was like, I wanted 5 more minutes with him just to beat him upside the head and go, what's wrong with you? But I didn't get that, right? And it changed my life in substantial ways. So I guess what I'm saying is, when people choose to do that, they don't really relieve the pain. What they do manage to do is spread that pain to a lot of more people. And, I'll be honest, and as I always am, I have gone through a period of probably the longest period of uninterrupted chronic depression that I've ever experienced, and to degrees, that I previously thought unimaginable. Now, again, depression is not the same thing as just being a sad sack, right? It's like, get up and just, get over it, right? You don't tell somebody that with a broken leg, right? Or if they, disemboweled, hey, just put your hands over it, cover it up, get up, walk, keep going. It doesn't work that way. But it also isn't just, being sad all the time or being morose, right? It doesn't work that way. And, and I'm not a big fan of the pharmaceutical things on that. And I trust Dad. And so it's not a matter of, pray for healing or whatever. And I don't even know that I should in some ways, right? Like part of the depression, I think, is simply seeing the nature of the world around me and being so distraught over how inhuman people have become to one another. And again, no surprise, because we're told clearly in Scripture that this would be the way as we come in toward the end. And in case you hadn't noticed, I think I'm at a place where I can comfortably say I think we're closer to the end than we've ever been. How's that for hedging? No, I do. I think that from what I see, and I've been, expecting it, looking for it for a long time, and that's just part of my walk with the Creator is to be ready. And no matter what, right? But also not to, go around ringing any bells and shaking people up and scaring people, because that, again, trying to get into the kingdom simply to avoid punishment or hell, again, you're not going to outsmart him. You're not going to trick him or manipulate him, right? What he wants is simply a relationship with you, right? And to love you. I know this because that's my relationship with him, and that's what I understand through experience, right? So I say this over and over, and I'll reiterate it blue in the face. And I know a lot of people don't seem to understand it when I'm talking to them. I'm not saying you, I think you guys get it, but talking to people, and they go, oh, you're religious or your belief system. I'm like, I don't really have a belief system, I don't think. I mean, what I have is experience, right? I don't have a religion. Because I would look to the religion to tell me what to do, and that's not how I behave, right? It is a constant communion with my Creator, And I know that, again, there are those out there who would say, when you talk to God, it's prayer. And when he talks to you, it's psychosis. But, I guess I've even, considered the possibility, and there's something I want to add here, right? Hey, maybe what you think or believe is not sane. And I think I want to share that with you. I do want to share with you. I saw, just came upon a YouTube channel this weekend, or Friday, I guess, and blasted through, I think, a lot of hours of this stuff. Really interesting stuff, and I'm going to share it with you. And I also want to share some of the material with you as in the future. Not that I'm going to, take the other guy's content. And I think he's got some good ideas, and I want to just package it because he's got like about 20 hours of material up, or more. And much of it is just like these 20-minute bits that only about 8 minutes is new, and the other 12 minutes are recapping, right, and setting up the next one. So I think it could be done at least in a basic way, a little more directly. But I think he's onto something, right, having to do with a spiritual battle that we're in. But one of the things that occurred to me, right, is, and he was talking about talking to other people about this, right, because, and you probably know this, if your views get challenged, let's say on the geometry of the earth, right, or on your any personal belief system, or, your core ethics, right, anytime that gets challenged, then people are going to go, why do you think that? And, if you look around, there are some people who are pretty good at apologetics. They're pretty good at debating. In fact, some people really enjoy the debate. Nathan Oakley, for example, he enjoys debate. But I don't enjoy listening to him do it because it's done with an air of meanness and condescending that I don't think helps. It's my personal opinion, right? I have no argument with the guy. Never even spoke with him. Listened for a long time until I couldn't, and then then I didn't. And I saw what happened between he and the Globe Busters, because I was there for a while, and with Jaron and Bob and stuff, and he and Bob crossed loggerheads more than once, right? Started calling each other names, and to me it was to the detriment of everybody. This is old little head, and Nathan has moved on, and I haven't listened in a long time, but that thrilled with what he had to say, just in terms of the topic, irrespective of how he presented it. And again, not time to bag any of that. What I'm saying is I tend to personally avoid channels, especially when they're causing drama back and forth. It seems like some of them, that's their primary form of content, is they pick on another larger channel and say bad things about them, and then wait for them to make a response and bring all their bring all of their subscribers back and forth to each other and hope to build both their channels. It seems like they're gaming the system. Okay, so I don't want to do that. It says that I'm lagging here, but it shouldn't be. Hopefully, can you guys hear everything? Is everything okay? I hope that it's... anyway, it seems like there's some people here. If not, hopefully you'll pick it up later, or not, right? Maybe I'm not saying anything. So, there could be that. But one of the things I picked up from this guy, and I'll give you... this has got no data now. Perfect. I don't know. Can you guys... It says, okay, so it went from no data to poor data. You guys give me a heads up in the chat if there's... if it's lagging, what's going on? Because I think the next things I want to say, I would want you to miss. I'll let's see here. It says no data. Crap. Well, I guess I'll sit here until it comes back. I don't know what else I can do during that. I suppose I could pause it. Not enough video to maintain smooth stream. Continue exploring. Okay, so let's see if that works. Can you give me a little quick shout out if you can hear it? So it went from no data to excellent connection. So hopefully, I got it. No data. It's coming straight out of the OBS, and no remarks from you guys. So, okay. I'm really sorry. I'll try this again tomorrow. I don't know why it stopped. It's shows that I should have good data now. Excellent connection all of a sudden. Again, tell me in the chat if it's lagging. I can't tell what's going on here. It's bouncing back and forth between excellent connection and no data. And it's not telling me which is actually happening, and nobody's putting anything in the chat, so I don't know. So I guess that with that, I guess I'll end it. I had a number of things to say, but seems like there's some problem here. No content. It's live chat. Okay. Still nobody. Okay. I don't know why this has happened. I'll just, I'll go on as if it is. Hopefully it'll record it, and maybe I can just edit it out later. In any case, again, say something in the chat, please. If you can hear it, hopefully you can. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know. That's very frustrating. I can't tell if we're getting a stream or not. It just kind of bounces. It's vacillating back and forth between excellent connection and no data coming from your software. So I don't really know if we're streaming or not. It's pretty exciting. Okay. So I'll probably look. I'm going to put it out there in case you can hear me and nobody's saying anything. Otherwise, I'll maybe try again tomorrow. That it's important for a lot of reasons, right? To evaluate your beliefs and learn to say them well, elucidate them well. Couple of reasons. Because once you kind of get down this conspiratorial rabbit hole, it is you certainly can. You get a foundation. You study these things, and it's foundational. Like I spent 35, 40 years studying this stuff, and so somebody I try to explain it to somebody, and you sound like you're crazy, right? Because the things that are real and the things that are not real, when you start going, hey, these are the things that they're lying to us about, and then when you start to fill in the blanks, right? You can certainly see if you just kind of try to say it without setting any background up or kind of crossing that bridge, you can sound like a total crazy person. Right. And then what value, right, is it to try to share with it? So I think for a couple of reasons, right, it's really important to continually evaluate and elucidate the things that you believe first, so that you can check yourself, before you wreck yourself. There was a few years back, I was in a Bible study group, and I had just joined, and they decided they were going to do a Bible study of this book about heaven. My author's name is Randy Alcorn. And sure, seemed fine. And then I got the book, very thick tome, about 2 or 3 chapters in. I'm like, all right. And then right about, I think, the 3rd or 4th chapter, he started quoting himself as an authority from my previous book, blah, blah, blah. In fact, he didn't even say my previous book to start. He just said, as it's written in this book, and he puts a footnote, and it's his book, right? And he does this throughout. I'm going, that is the number one rule of academia, is you don't do that. So I couldn't take it seriously. And then further, I found some of his ideas crazy, right? Just nutty. And he didn't have any foundation for it whatsoever. No scriptural foundation for it. And I was kind of irritated, right? And then I had some beliefs, and I was trying to compare what he was teaching, right, with my beliefs, and I was like, And then I started to study. It certainly wasn't evidence to support his belief, but then I looked a little further, and I couldn't find a whole lot of evidence to support mine either. And going, wait a minute, where did I get that? And I had to really begin to examine and challenge the things that I thought I knew from that point. And so as we move forward, right, and into this wider world of realizing, again, you hate to use the word conspiratorial, but we're not the ones conspiring, right? We didn't do it. They did, right? Just then they lied, and we go, hey, you're lying, and let's try to figure out the truth. And they've done an excellent job of burying as much of it as possible. But they've done so much that some things are just glaring. They're noticeable by their absence. That you can't find information on certain things, right? Like trying to find out exactly what RH factor does in the blood. Like, what's the real meaning of that? And you get so many conflicting point of views that all of which claim to be right, and so that it can't be true. And then when you see the big lies, right, that they lie to us about our history and who we are and where we are, even the place that we live, when they're lying about everything. And even to the point where the useful idiots, the people who are, air quotes, in charge, the people who are supposedly running the show, right, they have themselves been lied to in multiple ways. So, even if they didn't know some of the things that we know is lied, they're just going to repeat it. And this comes back to your teachers, college professors, whoever whoever you hold in esteem, right? A pastor, teacher, anybody that you hold in high esteem, they got lied to as well. We all been lied to. And simply repeating it doesn't necessarily make that person a liar, but it does mean that the source is compromised. It's not a reliable source. Again, in my experience, there really is one true source of truth. There's one solid place that you can get truth, and that's from Dad. But again, that takes time. And so many people, instead of trying to build that relationship, they just want to, do the things. Just give me the rules and I'll do the rules, right? Just tell me what to do and I'll do that. What you find out quickly enough, right, is like I did when I was a youth. I found out I was really bad at being good and really good at being bad. I didn't have the temperament to be always without sin. Like I needed to cap off from time to time. I mean, and this is why you see, this is the nature of man. This is why you see certain ceremonies, right? Like Lent, Fat Tuesday, and Ash Wednesday, right? So the idea is you get out, Mardi Gras, you get out all your carnal stuff, and then you fast and do all your Lent, spend a week being good after getting all your freak out. That's not how it works, right? Now weirdly, and if you know anything about the history of the Catholic Church, so you'll also know that when I say weirdly they adopted these customs, it's not that weird, but they did adopt all these different pagan customs, and some of it directly related to demon worship, directly, and they just kind of put a new name on it and wrapped it up and kept it as part of their church. Weird stuff, of course, but again, at the end of the day, right, what it appears to be is that they're lying to us on a whole bunch of different stuff. And it's difficult to know the truth. But when you find yourself, as you probably have, like certainly I have, unable to speak to most of the people around you because they're so deluded, they're so in the matrix, they cannot possibly get out. It's so difficult. And, if you take the advice from the movie The Matrix, right? That means that every one of those people, while they're still in, are your enemy. And I don't want to treat them that way, but they certainly treat me that way. But as you navigate through it, right, like me, you find that you don't really talk to too many people about it. But then if you are in a position, right, and you have to discuss it, again, you can come off sounding like a crazy person if you can't really clearly elucidate your beliefs. And I think the point for me telling you about that whole book from Randy Alcorn in Heaven, right, is to examine your beliefs. Like, so where did you get them? I think everybody, including myself, still has stuff that was given to us. We have a belief from a long time ago. Maybe somebody gave it to us. Maybe it's something we experienced and we just see it this way. Like, for example, for the longest time, about the first 40-some years of my life, I honestly believed, not because, I honestly believed because I had first-hand experience, and every woman that I knew well enough that she would tell me the truth, that in my experience, what I could tell is that every woman at one time or another cheats on their partner. And that's what I knew. Every woman that I knew well enough to be honest about it would admit that at some point, and for different reasons, they cheated on a spouse or a significant other. You can imagine what that, combined with the self-talk and self-dialogue of no one will ever really love you, did to my relationships, right? My personal relationships, because one, I thought they were untrustworthy, and two, that they really didn't love me anyway. So you can see that problem and how it might go. But now we're in a place where, especially when we're put in a situation where, just like what we've gone through in the last 4 years, being put in a situation where all of society is your enemy, or they choose you as the enemy. You're not making enemies of them, but they choose you because you're not doing what they want. If you try to tell them what you think, and especially if you're in a heightened state or an agitated state of emotion, right, you come off sounding really kooky. And it is good to examine your beliefs and to study it clearly and to be able to well elucidate the things that you believe. Now I feel hypocritical because I'm having a difficult time elucidating now. Partly why, again, it's been difficult for me to stream. It is a lot of stuff going on, much of it, physical, and that prevents me from doing it as often as I'd like. And I think I'm going to have to just go to sort of pre-recording some stuff and doing it like as a premiere, because like again tonight, started the stream, kept lagging. Don't even know if you can hear me. I haven't seen anything in chat that indicates that anybody can actually hear it, despite the fact that the YouTube software says I have an excellent connection and I've been streaming solidly for like 34 minutes and some change. I can't tell. And no feedback. So these are the things, again, I just wanted to share with you this evening, right? And I'll just keep it short. I'll try to just do the whole thing tomorrow. Just delete this and start over. Is one, right? Don't panic, right? All the stuff that's around you, everything that they're telling you, yes, it's bad news, right? There's all kinds of stuff, and it's going to probably get worse. That's my take on it, right? But if you're afraid, you simply feed in to their system, right? And two, one of the biggest lessons I've learned in this last year, right, is fear and faith cannot coexist. You must choose one. And so, to that end, trust, right? If you trust him, you will know that you are going to be okay, right? And no matter what the circumstances, even and especially with you, if you come to a place where you have to choose between your moral existence and your eternal life, you'll be ready to make that decision. I know I am, right? Don't threaten me with a good time. Anyway, at this point, I cannot tell that you guys are getting anything at all. Nothing in the chat. It's dropped several times. I think I'm just going to drop it. And I'm kind of discombobulated anyway. I had a difficult day, and I really wanted to share some stuff that I picked up in Scripture and what I'd seen around me this week. I think I'm just going to start breaking it apart and maybe do some daily streams, just like little bits, because I get so behind and I can't put it all together. And I'm so sorry if this isn't what we or you have come to expect. Certainly, it's not from me. There's just everything has gone wrong tonight. So it's probably gonna happen to you too, right? But everything goes wrong, and you're gonna feel lost and alone and pointless. And I want to tell you that you're not. Right? Don't give in to that. Because if you do, it's too close. It's too close to the big show, right? We're too close to the end. Don't give up, right? Don't give up. Okay. Again, I am so sorry that this has gone this way, and I cannot really tell if you can hear anything. It seems like it's streaming, but I don't know. So with that, I'm gonna cash in the chips and try again tomorrow. So here, don't panic, right? Hang on to Dad. He's good. Look around you, right? Pay attention to what's going on around you. I'm going to add to it. Just examine your beliefs. Look really closely at the things that you believe to be true. And if you don't know where it came from, double check, right? And if it's wrong, change that. I can't tell you what's wrong or right for you, right? I have to even check in with Dad to see what's wrong or right for me most of the time, because I'm spiritually retarded. But you're not, right? So hang on to Dad, grab his hand, look in his eyes, and say, "Help me," because the world is stupid right now. Oh man. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys again soon. Maybe I can fix all this stuff, and we'll have a better connection next time. Take care.